extract, the ginseng product scientifically tested for 25 years. Who benefits from ginsana? Middle-aged men and women, senior citizens, busy executives, college students, and athletes. It's often imitated, but there's only one ginsana. All natural, no sugar, no caffeine. If you tire easily, if you've lost your competitive edge, try ginsana and feel the energy.
Ginsana from SunSource Health Products. Products that work naturally. At Kmart, Walgreen, Revco, Eckerd, Arbor, and Payless. For a free brochure, call 800-777-2000. 777-2000.
You're searching for the best deal on a program car? Stop the search and head to Leith of Goldsboro today. Leith Chrysler, Plymouth Jeep Eagle, and Leith Dodge Isuzu has a lot of great deals for you. Leith has reduced the prices and increased the selection of program cars, like the 93 Dodge Shadows or Plymouth Sundances for $86.95 or as low as $138 a month. Leith Chrysler, Plymouth Jeep Eagle, and Leith Dodge Isuzu, Highway 70 West, Goldsboro. Tags tag and $138 dock fee or extra. Payments based on 20% down, cash or trade for 60 months at 7.95 APR.
EIB Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, has the scanner for you. They carry a full line of unit and Bearcat scanners, including base stations, home units, mobile units, and handheld units, too. EIB Electronics and Unit and Bearcat have the right idea. Also, get a free frequency list with any purchase of a scanner. Stop in today for a free demo on any model at EIB Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, your scanner headquarters.
State Office Equipment Company has discount office furniture for less. Stacking chairs are only $27.95 and only $29.95 with arms. Storage cabinets, 72 by 18 by 36, only $115. Folding metal chairs start at just $6.95 and folding tables start at only $36. And State Office Equipment Company has used furniture for sale and delivery available. Get office furniture for less at State Office Equipment Company, 2211A East Ash Street, Goldsboro, open Monday through Thursday, 8:30 till 5:30 and 8:30 till 5 on Friday.
We all have our share of life's little problems. It could be a problem with a friend or a family member, or maybe even one related to your career. I'm Lee Maribal, and each weekday from 10 till noon, I take calls from listeners that have questions or problems probably similar to those you've had. I try to give advice to help you solve those problems, or at least help you take the first step. I hope you'll join me each weekday morning on Goldsboro's very own 1150 WGBR.
WGBR.
On the cutting edge of societal evolution. This is Rush Limbaugh having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. We're in Los Angeles today and tomorrow. Be on tonight's show on Friday night. I'm also filming a sitcom out here where I play and portray myself. The show is Hearts of Fire. John Ritter and Marky Post. Shoot a couple scenes this afternoon, then tape the balance of the show on Friday night. These people work hard. I'll tell you what, they do. Yesterday was a long day. They work long days. They really do. Here is, where do we go next? Riley in Boston. Welcome to the program. Glad you called, sir.
Hello, Rush.
Hi.
Negatitos.
It just continues. The barrage is on. Go ahead, Riley.
Well, I hardly know where to start because I do not find that your characterization of liberals describes me very much.
Well, then you're probably not a liberal,
well,
really.
I'm probably the better judge of that, I would say.
Ooh. Well, see, we may disagree on definitions. That's the problem.
Well, that could be, but I mean, I remember one of the things you agreed with a gentleman some time ago about you could not be liberal and an entrepreneur. Well, I beg to differ on that one. I am an entrepreneur, and I view myself as liberal. And statements like that bother me.
Well, now, wait a minute. I don't even remember making it, but
well, it was a couple of months ago.
If I did, then the point that I must have been making is that you've got to be you cannot be in a fiscal sense liberal. Let me just ask some questions. Do you think that you ought to pay higher taxes as an entrepreneur? Does that encourage you to expand your business?
Past the point, having been around a long time, taxes, like that, you always got to pay taxes. I would prefer to pay less taxes in general, obviously, but I don't pay that much attention to it. I mean, I do what I got to do. And if taxes are higher, it probably means I got to go out and earn more. Because what can I do about it? yes, I would prefer to pay less tax.
Yeah, well, there's nothing you can do about it, but at the same time, you don't encourage them and support. Liberals love tax increases. They think tax increases are fair. And tax increases for liberals against guys like you are what is called fair. You're considered successful and an achiever, and you have more of a bigger share of the pie than you should. And a tax increase to a liberal is punishment.
No, well, we could...
It is. They're gleeful about it.
Some are and some aren't.
You don't have much passion about it, so you're not very liberal. You just are a realist. Hey,
yes,
my taxes are going up, and then I got to live with it. I'll do what I have to do to survive.
Right, and I would prefer less. But I'll tell you, one of the things that bothered me most about your characterizations was not too long ago, was something or other about California being where the liberal slime crawl up on the beaches. You said that sometime in the last couple of weeks. Well, I happened to start my, politics and stuff. I was in California, and I object to that kind of thing.
What was the context of that?
You were talking to someone out there. Go back and listen to your tapes. I mean, I wrote it down because I heard it, and it made me very angry.
What was the context of it?
You were talking to somebody from California who said, I'm calling from the left coast or some, bloody thing like that. The specifics I don't remember, but I sure remember hearing you say that.
Oh, I remember saying it. I'm not sitting here denying that I said it, but I can't remember the context.
Neither can I.
I don't look. You know full well, Riley, that I do not sit here and sling names. I don't call people scumbags and all that. I don't. I don't. I'm the one host who doesn't. Now, if I said the liberal slime, it might have been over a piece of bumper music. It might have related to a piece of music. It might have been related to something in the news about fish. Who knows? Whales beaching themselves. I can't remember. But there has to be. Liberal slime climbing, or maybe it was a dissertation on how man came from the...
No, it wasn't that. But it basically, in terms of your spine, it was offensive.
Well, okay, now I can understand you disagree with me calling liberals names, but do you disagree with my basic concept of the
what?
Ideological concepts of liberalism? I mean, you are a liberal, and that means you think you're very competitive.
To me, a liberal is several things. One of which, is an open mind.
I disagree. Liberals are the architects of political correctness, for crying out loud.
I also look at the history of liberalism. Do you realize that some of the views you hold now once were very liberal ideas?
I do. JFK. I am suggesting, and I've said this, I think the liberalism today bears no resemblance to the liberalism of the early and mid-'60s. It was in the latter part of the 60s and the early 70s that liberalism began to go south and become something really far more left than liberalism. And unfortunately, those people are the ones ooh, look at the clock. I'm way over time. Riley, hang on just a quick second here. We've got a short period of time. We come back from the break. I'll get your response. Yeah, I've shown the similarities between John F. Kennedy and myself and Reagan and Kemp on economic policy. So, yes, I do agree with that statement. We'll be right back.
This is the EIB Network.
Oh, goody. Get to tell you about Florida citrus again. Do you know there have been over 500 studies, including 100 studies alone about vitamin C, that point to the helpfulness of citrus? The vitamins and minerals found in Florida orange juice can play an important role in maintaining good health, but you probably think you know that. Researchers at the National Cancer Institute have long maintained that a diet rich in vitamin C can help prevent certain cancers. I bet you may not have known that. Other studies specifically talk to vitamin C's health benefits regarding heart disease and other serious ailments right down to the common cold, and you probably heard about that. Now, my good friends at the Florida Department of Citrus tell me that our bodies absorb 35% more vitamin C from citrus fruits than from supplements. I'll bet you didn't know that. Now, here's what I'm getting at. 1 6-ounce glass of Florida orange juice is usually enough to satisfy the U.S. recommended daily allowance of vitamin C. But you know how we at the EIB Network, including all of you people, feel about the government's RDA. You need much more. Florida orange juice. You can't beat it.
Unplanned, unannounced Furniture Fair closed their doors at all locations yesterday. Behind those locked doors, they prepared for a single-day solution to one of the worst problems Furniture Fair has faced in the past 40 years. The worst February weather in area history has created A major emergency at Furniture Fair. Those weather conditions caused a huge drop in sales. Customers unable to come to the stores. Regular shipments arriving every day. No place to put them, no room in the warehouse. Well, today only, for 12 hours only, from 10 until 10 only, Furniture Fair will solve that problem. 10 till 10, you'll buy at 1/2 off manufacturer's suggested list price on all furniture and bedding. 1/2 off. Plus, all electronics and appliances are reduced till it ends at 10 tonight. But there's more on all furniture and bedding. No down payment, no finance charge, no monthly payment till May. Or use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover Furniture Fair's own charge card, even at 1/2 off. It ends at 10. Furniture Fair, Belfork Road in Jacksonville, behind Kmart on Ash Street in Goldsboro, across from Walmart in Greenville.
Fine-looking automobile, isn't it?
Just looking, thanks.
Just rip that price sticker right off that car. Forget it was ever there.
Then why'd you bother putting it on?
Oh, they're just for show. I can knock 75, 80 cents off your MSRP without even asking my boss.
Well, thanks,
but you got your factory dealer incentives, your dealer rebate, your discount for National Clean Your Aquarium Out Day.
I'd really just like some time to
Did
think
I
about
mention
this.
it was National Wipe Your Feet Day? We got a sale going on.
Hey, could you just stop hassling me?
Well, shoot, if you want that no-hassle stuff, why don't you go on down to Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro? They got no-hassle buying every day.
Where did you say?
Courtesy Buick GMC on Highway 70 East Bypass in Goldsboro. They got no-hassle buying on a big selection of Buicks and GMCs.
Well, great. Thanks a lot.
Come on down to Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro. No hassles from the sales staff, no high-pressure negotiating, just the lowest bottom-line prices right on the sticker. No hassle buying at Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro. It's a better, easier way to buy a car.
Hey, did I mention our Fuzzy Dice giveaway?
WGBR.
Less than a couple minutes remaining in this hour of the Rush Limbaugh program from Los Angeles. Go back now to Riley in Boston. I wanted to give you a chance to respond to some things I said.
Well, yes, I guess I would have to say my liberal style is more of, the older generation, if you will, which I guess I am.
You know, you should have heard Hubert Humphrey in 1964 speaking to the Smithsonian on family values.
I've heard
I was making this. Well, he's a liberal.
And you got to. Hubert Humphrey was anathema to conservatives in his day. They absolutely hated him because he, among other things, played such an enormous role in the civil rights movement. And don't forget, the conservatives were dead set against all of that stuff back in those days. Kennedy was anathema to Republicans. They hated him. They didn't like his act. My grandfather, who was a very conservative Republican, told me if he was elected, the country would be in economic ruin 6 months after Kennedy was elected. That was the conservative perspective at that point.
I don't think the conservative perspective had surfaced. No, it may have been the Republican perspective, but conservative.
I'm sorry, there was a very conservative bunch at that point also.
Well, but they weren't powerful. They weren't dominant. They didn't run the Republican Party. Barry Goldwater was the first conservative that gave that a try, and he got the party nomination the first time. But you can't say the conservatives were Republicans back then.
You're searching for the best deal on a program car. Stop the search and head to Leith of Goldsboro today. Leith Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep Eagle, and Leith Dodge Isuzu has a lot of great deals for you. Leith has reduced the prices and increased the selection of program cars. Check out their huge selection of program cars, all priced right, all with special financing opportunities for you. Choose a 93 Chrysler LeBaron 4-door for only $11,895. Leith Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep Eagle, and Leith Dodge Isuzu, Highway 70 West, Goldsboro. Tax tag and $138 dock fee or extra. Payments based on 20% down cash or trade for 60 months at 7.95 APR.
I had this dream. I was trying to find my way out of a cupboard. I kept banging my head on a shelf. Then the keeper of the cupboard, this gnarled little guy with thick glasses, said, "You may leave if you answer one question. Why will men drive around lost for hours before asking directions?" I said, "I don't know. Boy, it's dark in this cupboard."
Stop banging your head on the road sign. Consider new directions for what it means to be a man. From the Mennonite churches.
WGBR, Goldsboro's very own.
From ABC News, I'm Gary Nunn. Entertainer Dinah Shore is dead of cancer. She'd been ill for a while. Dinah Shore's career included both radio and television, spanning the 1950s into the early 1990s. She won 8 Emmys, most of them more than any other woman entertainer. The Dinah Shore Chevy Show premiered in 1956 and ran until 1963. Her singing of the theme, "See the USA in Your Chevrolet," and signing off with a big kiss to the audience became trademarks. 2 years ago, she was inducted into the TV Hall of Fame.
This profession has been very good to me, and I don't remember a time in my life when I I wasn't singing and then singing and dancing it and then singing and cooking it and maybe singing without anything going for me, including a band, and always marveling at being allowed to perform for so many people and then being awarded beautiful awards for it.
Dinah Shore appeared in a few movies in the 1940s. She would have been 77 years old Monday. World skating champion Oksana Bayul of Ukraine and Tanya Shevchenko of Germany are expected to compete tomorrow in the long program at the Olympics. Both were slightly injured this morning when they collided at high speed, skating backward during practice in Hamar, Norway. ABC skating analyst Donna De Verona says that such incidents have psychological impact.
This is a skater's nightmare. The moment has come, and an accident like this is very frightening for all the skaters. It's unsettling even for those that haven't participated in the collision.
Several skaters were on the ice at the time that Bayul and Shevchenko had their back-on collision. Overnight television ratings from 30 markets indicate CBS's Olympic coverage last night may turn out to be the most watched sporting event in television history. Agriculture Secretary Mike Espy is pushing to get FDA permission to have beef and other red meat irradiated to kill harmful bacteria, including E. coli. The poultry industry has decided not to embrace the process, even though it has been okayed for chickens, turkeys, and other fowl since 1990. You're listening to ABC News.
Why not serve one of the many flavors of rice-a-roni tonight? From Spanish rice to 1/3 less salt chicken, they're delicious with anything, including those charming dinner-time conversations.
So how was the game, pal?
Well, I made 2 catches.
That's great. I used to be a pretty good glove, too. Pass the veggies, will you?
Here you go, Dad.
No, don't throw that.
Catch.
Don't.
Just kidding, Dad.
Good.
Here, want me to pass the rice-a-roni?
No, thanks. I'll get it myself.
The San Francisco tree. May we join you for dinner tonight?
So how will your company benefit from NAFTA?
Well, my boss is sending us to Mexico to encontrar our new customers.
Let me guess. Cancun, Cozumel, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and...
Acapulco.
So, the airfares are free.
See, we all got National Dynamic speed tapes.
Order a complete set of National Dynamic speed tapes in Spanish or French, German, Italian, or Japanese. And get 2 free round-trip airfares to any of 5 cities in Mexico. Call 1-800-545-1985.
Pack your briefcase and your bathing suit.
Some restrictions apply.
1-800-545-1985.
President Clinton today in Norwich, Connecticut, chatted with some customers at a corner drugstore, saying that paying for medicine under his national health care plan would ease their burdens and save the country money in the long run. Earlier, he told some supporters greeting him at the airport.
We're facing the health care issue, the welfare reform issue. We're going to try to redo the unemployment system of the country. We have got a lot of big challenges facing this country, but we're going to meet them with your help and your support.
The visit to Norwich is part of a planned 2-week blitz hard sell of his health care plan to senior citizens. Decision to ordain women priests in the Church of England has created a rift. Hundreds of clergymen threaten to abandon the Anglican Church for the Roman Catholic Church. Stephen Parkinson of the group Forward in Faith, which claims to represent about 30,000 Anglicans, opposes the ordination plan.
Can only serve to weaken it, and again, it is very sad. But the reality is that those priests must follow the dictates of their consciences.
Parkinson says it is up to individual church members.
For parishioners, it's a very difficult time. There are many lay people in the Church of England who are wrestling with this problem themselves. There are already many who have decided to become Roman Catholics.
March 12th, the Church of England intends to ordain the first women priests. Wall Street, Dow Jones Industrials down 21.95 at 3869.73. Volume 242,670,000 shares. This is ABC News.
Hello, purchasing. This is Lisa.
When purchasing manager Lisa Houston needed a new business printer, who did she turn to? Pip Printing.
Oh, hi, Dave. Your office? Sure, I'll be right in.
Lisa relied on Pip for everything. Business forms, envelopes, letterhead, large complex copy jobs. Pip even showed her ways that could save the company money. Is Lisa Houston glad she chose Pip?
A promotion?
Her boss certainly is. Pip Printing, the best business printer in the business.
For the ABC Information Network, I'm Gary Nunn.
Half-price savings on ladies' fashions now at Kleinerd's during the winter clearance. All fall and winter sportswear, half price. Shoes and boots, half price. All fall and winter dresses, junior, missy, petite, and larger sizes, half price. Save 40% on leather jackets, all-weather coats, and winter coats. Save now up to half price during the winter clearance at Kleinerd's, Wayne Plaza, 1800 block of East Ash Street. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Kleinerd's.
Sure looks like a lot of sunshine continuing for the rest of today once you get the sun to show up anyway. Some of you still haven't seen much of that yet, but it's on the way. It'll break up pretty soon. Highs today are mostly going to be ranging from around 60 in the northern counties, or upper 50s anyway, to probably some mid-60s southward once the sun shows up. Clear tonight, lows in the low to mid-30s. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-50s to near 60. I'm Bill Schmidt at the Weather Center.
WGBR.
Pleasant greetings once again to one and all. This is the Excellence in Broadcasting Network and the Rush Limbaugh program, coming to you today from the left coast, from the studios of AM 640 KFI here in Los Angeles.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now on the road, live from Los Angeles, here is Rush Limbaugh.
That's one thing, it's gone right today. Suggest something get fixed, and boy, there he is, Johnny Donovan, on the spot, fixing it. Thanks, Johnny. It's day 400 today for the poor and the middle class. These are the days of the raw deal, which have surpassed now and gone by. Day 420 for the rich and the dead, and 1,061 days left for everybody to endure it. A couple of health care stories here. I am not going to be taken off track. I am not going to have this show derailed by those who would do it, by those who would like to see this program focused elsewhere than on the issues of the day. First off, this is from yesterday's Wall Street Journal. Let me give you the phone number if you want to call in. We are still taking phone calls through the New York studios. The number there is 800-282-2882. This is a story from Toronto, Canada. And you know what basically is happening is that with free medical service, patients, especially seasoned citizen patients, are showing up all the time for the slightest ailment. Ontario's socialized healthcare system has a new prescription for patients with a cold or flu. Don't bother your doctor. Eat chicken soup. Ontario residents get free medical coverage, but officials there complain that frequent snifflers go to the doctor too much, clogging up the healthcare system and costing the province about 200 million Canadian dollars a year. So now the government's trying to convince cold and flu sufferers that they can cure themselves without professional advice. A cold lasts a week, and if you see a doctor, it lasts 7 days, says one government advertisement. A cold lasts a week, but if you see a doctor, it lasts 7 days. The point is, don't bug us when you get a cold. There's no cure. Don't bother us when you've got the flu. You just got to endure it. Drink orange juice when you get a cold or when you get the flu. The campaign to reduce doctor visits is being tested in London, Ontario, where residents were mailed brochures extolling the virtues of chicken soup. To clear a stuffed nose, the brochure relates Egyptians favor mustard, Greeks use vinegar and pepper, Russians swear by horseradish, and South Asians drink a ginger and coriander tea. But you know what else is happening? In addition to people showing up for any malady whatsoever, seasoned citizens are going to the doctor's office because it's fun to sit there and watch other people come in. They got nothing else to do. It's replaced going to the mall and sitting out in the middle watching people shuffle by. You know, you've seen those people sitting on the benches in malls as people come out of the Orange Julius shop or the Slurpee Slop shop or whatever. Well, now they're going to doctor's offices in Canada. Some people are lonely. They just like to come and schmooze. Their appointment's at 3 p.m. They come at 1 p.m. There's more to do here than at home, says Steve Gutzman, a family practitioner in Toronto. I mean, the evidence abounds that what we are looking into doesn't work. Now, Senator Jay Rockefeller of West Virginia is on the warpath, ladies and gentlemen, because there are stories. Let me Let me find, here it is. One from the New York Times today, the other one from the Los Angeles Times. First, the Times story is headlined thus: lawmakers say Clinton care plan cannot pass. Fundamental changes by House committees are called certain. And that doesn't sit well with West Virginia Senator Jay Rockefeller, who is pushing these health alliances. Lawmakers who back the idea of the cooperatives say it is the only way to ensure choice, but a panel chairman predicts that the approach will fail. Jay Rockefeller is angry. I'll tell you, there are two things here that are fundamental to the Clinton plan that if they don't pass, if they're not part of it, then the Clinton plan basically has fallen apart. And one of them is the employee mandate, because that is the way they're going to be able to pay for it and raise taxes and gain their universal coverage. And the other is these health cooperatives. And these things are devious. They are dangerous. They are, I really do. I shudder when I read the word cooperative in context of the United States of America and capitalism. I see the word health cooperative and I say, it's over. We've lost. If it's health cooperatives, these giant alliances, and they're trying to say that these alliances give choice, and they don't. You won't have any choice what alliance you're in. Alliances, I was talking about this with someone just the other day, because there's a story in the paper about how the Justice Department of this administration is trying to counter the attacks on these oddly drawn congressional districts that feature a glob of population here in a dot where a certain kind of people live, and then the rest of the district follows an interstate highway with 5 feet on each side of the highway as part of the district where nobody lives. And that glob will say have all Hispanics or all black Americans or whatever, and thereby guarantee a seat in Congress to a person of that particular ethnicity. Well, they can do the same thing with these health alliances. They can redraw those. They can, and who's going to do it is still a matter of some debate. Even though it's spelled out in the health care plan, the fact of the matter is that you are not going to have much choice into which alliance you are going to be into, because you're not going to draw the district. And the prices are not going to be equal from alliance to alliance, because some alliances are going to have cities where the cost of medical care is a lot more than it is in other places. I guarantee you, the people who live in the alliance that has to pay for the health care of the residents of New York City are going to pay a lot more than the alliance which has to pay for the health care of the residents of Des Moines. There's just no question about that. And then it is true that if you don't like the services you get in your alliance and you try to get a doctor on the side to see you and you pay him extra and you get caught, you can go to jail for 10 years and get fined in the United States of America. And so West Virginia Senator Jay Rockefeller insists that the alliances must remain in the legislation because they are the heart and soul of what health care reform is about. Well, that is... If these alliances are the heart and soul of what health care reform is all about, let me tell you what West Virginia Senator Jay Rockefeller is saying. He is saying, in essence, that centralized control of health care, centralized control of your health choices, is what health care is all about. You can use any term you want to decide to describe, but all I want to point out to you again, as opposed to labeling it, as opposed to calling it centralized planning or socialism or all these words that, let's face it, you don't want to think your government's becoming anyway. Most people will reject those labels because they don't want to think that their nation is headed that way. Just look at what happened with the TCI Bell Atlantic merger. This was to be the on-ramp of the information superhighway. $33 billion merger, big companies, cable company and a phone company. See, the phone company hadn't been allowed to the baby bells have not been allowed to get into cable because of regulation up to this point. They haven't been allowed to transmit video on their wires. But if they had, there wouldn't have been any need for any of the rewiring and cabling of neighborhoods because the phone company has already done it. And the wire optics, fiber optics that exist, they're clearly capable of transmitting pictures now. Wouldn't have had to tear up neighborhoods and so forth, but then there wouldn't have been a cable industry either. So now that we've got the capability, baby bells are saying, all right, there's deregulation and a bunch of people are getting into this. We want to carry pictures. And they decided to merge with TCI, Telecable International, or Telecable of John Malone's company. I'm having a mental block on the I. But the point is they were going to have this giant concern getting us off the off the mark on filling 500 channels, and it was going to be great for the American consumer. It was going to bring in more choices, and it was going to be cheaper. And it was going to be simple. Because once you can transmit pictures on a phone line, I mean, look how simple that is. Then all of a sudden the FCC says we are going to cut cable rates. The American people are paying too much. And when they said we're going to cut cable rates, they said we're going to put price controls on the cable companies and what they can charge. Goes the merger. And the first on-ramp of the information superhighway is not being built. And it's all because the federal government moved in because they care, because they have compassion, because they know that you want your cable bill reduced. They know you're paying way too much for cable. It's just not right. And they're going to see to it that you get a 7% rate cut. And you say, well, that's what they said the last time, and my bill went up. Right. What do you think might happen this time? What happens any time the federal government tries to control prices? The first thing that happens is your level of service declines, because the guys providing the service are not going to reduce their profit margin until they absolutely have to. So they'll reduce service. That's all that'll happen. If there's any rate cut at all. It's just, it is absolutely the greatest example, one of the many great examples you could cite as to what's going to happen when they start controlling the price and the costs of health care, because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's not because I oppose it. It's not because price controls are liberal and I'm conservative and I don't like anything liberal. They don't work. They do just the exact opposite of what they are stated to do. It's just like the fairness doctrine. The fairness doctrine is said to bring more diversity to the radio broadcasting spectrum. There'll be more shows, and they'll be fairer, and it'll be nicer, and it'll be less contentious and less controversial. And in fact, the exact opposite happens. Go back to when there was no fairness doctrine, when there was no regulation of broadcasting through the 80s, and a number of radio stations doing talk radio jumped from 345 to over 1,200. Now, what happens when it goes up by 4 times? Well, the number of shows goes up, and the number of hosts goes up, the number of people doing those shows, and therefore the divergent opinions expressed goes up. And the number of options that callers have to get through and express their opinion goes up. So the diversity, the wide range of topic selection, the fairness and the balance, all has been handled by the free market. And here comes old federal government again. We got to have a fairness doctrine out there. It's Senator Hollings again. We need the fairness doctrine out there. There's not enough fairness out there in the media. And so what's going to happen is there'll be fewer stations doing this format because it's going to be more expensive to challenge the license, to maintain or to defend the license challenges that happen brought by special interest groups who now see the fairness doctrine as an opportunity to silence people they disagree with. It's the same thing that's happening with the TCI Bell Atlantic merger. It's the same thing that's going to happen with health care. Price controls, government regulation does not work. Back in just a moment.
This is the EIB Network.
Hey, time for some new information from our good buddies at CompuServe, folks. Guess what they've done? They have lowered their rates by up to 40% for members under their standard pricing plan. 40% price reduction. As a result of advanced technology and strong membership growth, which is no doubt due to this show, and you know, too, that CompuServe subscribers epitomize good taste as well. CompuServe is able now, because of the high volume, able to pass these savings on to members. Now, for only $8.95 a month, you can access over 50 basic services. Plus, you now can access thousands of other services at these new lower rates. They've expanded the CompuServe universe, accessible at the new lower rate. These services include interactive forums, travel services, financial services, reference databases, and entertainment. All those used to not be accessible at the low rate. They are now. Call 1-800-787-RUSH and order CompuServe today. 1-800-787-7874.
Do you know there are only 44 sounds in the English language? 44. And when you learn these 44 sounds called phonics, you can read and spell almost everything. That's why Hooked on Phonics is so successful. We've set these 44 sounds to music, making learning to read simple and fun. So get hooked on phonics and take the mystery out of learning to read. Call 1-800-ABCDEFG.
Fine-looking automobile, isn't it?
Just looking, thanks.
Just rip that price sticker right off that car. Forget it was ever there.
Then why'd you bother putting it on?
Oh, they're just for show. I can knock 75, 80 cents off your MSRP without even asking my boss.
Well, thanks,
but you got your factory dealer incentives, your dealer rebate, your discount for National Clean Your Aquarium Out Day.
I'd really just like some time to
Did
think
I
about
mention
this.
it was National Wipe Your Feet Day? We got a sale going on.
Hey, could you just stop hassling me?
Well, shoot, if you want that no-hassle stuff, why don't you go on down to Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro? They got no-hassle buying every day.
Where did you say?
Courtesy Buick GMC on Highway 70 East Bypass in Goldsboro. They got no-hassle buying on a big selection of Buicks and GMCs.
Well, great. Thanks a lot.
Come on down to Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro. No hassles from the sales staff, no high-pressure negotiating, just the lowest bottom-line prices right on the sticker. No hassle buying at Courtesy Buick GMC in Goldsboro. It's a better, easier way to buy a car.
Hey, did I mention our Fuzzy Dice giveaway?
Need furniture? Need credit? Need them now? Waynesboro Furniture has a plan that will answer those questions and more, with special pay plans for those who need it now, including military E1 and up. Contact Waynesboro Furniture and find out how you can get automatic approval and quick delivery without delay. Living room, dining room, bedroom furniture, and mattresses. Buy now, delivery now, and pay later. Get complete details at Waynesboro Furniture, your mattress outlet, 119 North Center Street, downtown Goldsboro.
Well, I was a little nervous. First time I went into an elementary school classroom as a junior achievement volunteer. But when I saw how eager the kids were, I knew it was going to be all right. They're so thrilled you're there.
If you've ever wondered what you can do to help kids expand their horizons, find out about our new elementary school volunteer program. Call 1-800-THE-NEW-JA. That's 1-800-THE-NEW-JA. A public service message brought to you by Junior Achievement and the Ad Council.
WGBR.
Seductively slurping on yet another glass of delicious Florida orange juice. I am Rush Limbaugh, and this is the EIB Network as we continue broadcast excellence from Los Angeles. Now back to the phone. Streeter, Illinois is up next. Jim, hello.
Megadittos, Rush.
Thank
from
you,
Pastor
sir.
Mason.
Thank you.
I have one thing to say. I work for the state of Illinois in the Department of Corrections. If you want to see how health care cannot possibly work, come visit a prison. The state makes sure that the inmate that I sit with gets what they say they can have. They only get specific treatment. You can't have this procedure done because it simply costs too much money. You don't qualify, whatever it happens to be. And, you know, philosophically speaking, as I'm looking at this, it's like, why in the world would we want to go to something where the government's going to try and take care of us when they don't care about us? When they're going to jail us for doing something like going to our doctor, from a Master Mason standpoint, let's say somebody's got a crippled child that wants to go to the Shriners Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
You going to put him in jail for that?
Well, that's just it. You know, it's uncertain now whether the Mayo Clinic can stay open.
Yeah.
What happens if you go to the Mayo Clinic?
Well, you're going to get thrown in jail.
Well, you can't. They just can't do that. That's the kind of thing. See, what people ought to know is I really don't expect that to survive the ultimate agreed-to plan, hopefully, but people ought to know that that's in there. People ought to know that that's what these proponents want and what they think ought to happen. Look, the reason people want it, I'm convinced, is because of what happened the other day on this program. I think there's a rising population group, rising group of our population, rising number who think America owes them something. And health care has gotten so expensive, and for so long it's been out of the realm of possibility to pay for it yourself that you've had to have it as a benefits package. And right now your benefits package doesn't, in most cases, give you all the health care access that you need. Along comes somebody in a white horse saying, we're going to fix it so you've got health care with this little card. It can never be taken away. People are simply going to go, yeah, they're going to, whatever ideological beliefs they have are going to be subordinated to their pressing economic needs.
Oh, absolutely. But inmates fall into this group too. You talk about, well, you can have this or you can't have that. You know, it's staggering. Nobody really cares whether or not they get the best health care. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of, well, you're in this group and That's what you can have.
Well, when you say nobody cares where they get the best health care, you're talking about at the prison, nobody cares whether the inmates get the best health care they can get?
They overload the system. Here somebody comes in and says, someone owes me, right?
Right.
Well, guess
Even
what?
in prison.
They're in prison. Nobody owes them. But you know what I've seen, Rush? And this is something. Now, I've worked at a women's prison before, and the funny thing is I've watched women come in to jail pregnant so that the state will pay for them to have their baby.
Oh, Jim, now don't say that about... Oh, Jim. Women wouldn't get caught committing a crime while pregnant just to have the birth free.
Oh, no, she broke parole. The one that I saw do that. She broke parole so that she could get back into jail and have them take care of the child for her.
She broke parole on purpose. Oh, Jim, you hate women, don't you?
No, I don't.
When did this first surface in your personality that you began to have this enmity, this gender-based hatred for women?
I don't know. Maybe it was when women started beating me on multiple choice tests.
Hey, good line. Good comeback. Well, thanks for the call. Any evidence that we can get that it just doesn't work, that has to be the new theme. It's not that it's socialist. It's not that it's centralized planning. It's not that there are price controls, even though all that's true. It's that it will not work the way it's being pitched. And the evidence is everywhere. It doesn't work this way. And nations around the world have discovered it and have moved on to other ways, having given up what we're just now starting to try. We have a cellular call very quickly from Fargo, North Dakota. Jeff, hello. Welcome to EIB Network.
Hello, Rush. Ditto's from Fargo.
Thank you, sir.
A pleasure to talk with you. I had a comment for you about, you were talking about the problem in Canada and how everybody's going to the doctor for colds and,
Just to hang out. They're going there just to hang out because it's exciting.
Well, yeah, that as well. But, we've got the same problem in the United States as far as people taking their 2-year-olds to the doctor for, they're running a 99-degree temperature, and they take them to the doctor. I don't understand that. That's a huge problem, and it's just overloading the healthcare system in the United States. What is it going to be like, if we have universal care? It's just going to get a lot worse.
Well, you just wait. I will make this prediction, because it won't be long, even after the phase-in of such a plan. Let's just, for the sake of this discussion, assume everything that Clinton wants it gets. And it's phased in, and we've gone through the phase-in now, and everything's established, and people are doing exactly what you and I know they'll do. They'll show up everywhere. And then some people have diseases that are terminal. Then somebody's going to say, you're old, we can't afford it. We can't give you the treatment. All of this is going to result in limits being placed on the amount of care someone can access, either for the common cold or something else, or for a major terminal illness. And when those limits hit, after having been sold a plan with no limits, people are going to be mad. They're not going to be happy with it. Shudder to think.
Let me tell you about Ginsana, the energizing product. Ginsana is the first standardized ginseng extract scientifically tested for 25 years. If you get tired easily, if you've lost your competitive edge, take Ginsana. All-natural Ginsana. It's energizing America. Ginsana from SunSource Health Products. Products that work naturally. For a free brochure, call 800-777-2000. 800-777-2000.
Ginsana. 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 This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
This is Wayne Alley. Fremont Town Alderman Wayne Hooks tendered his resignation yesterday by way of a statement delivered to Town Manager Ken Nolan. Hooks said he was resigning effective immediately. In that statement, Hooks said there have been accusations about meter tampering that he feels are unwarranted, but there's been no evidence proving any criminal intent. Hooks said he felt that resigning his position as alderman was in the best interest of the town of Fremont and himself. The town responded to Hooks' resignation by way of a prepared statement. The town statement said the town attorney advised that while there were suspicions of meter tampering, there is no evidence that could be submitted to obtain a criminal conviction in a court of law. The town said earlier this week that it would have an announcement on the outcome of an investigation into allegations that a board member might be taking electricity. Representative Carolyn Russell began another study of the budget after being told the governor's Smart Start program for 12 sites will cost $45 million instead of the $20 million initially announced. She asked how Smart Start and other programs are related to social services and mental health, and did a double take in reviewing what's proposed for administration. What she found got her anger up.
When I see that that board in Raleigh had a January meeting, a December meeting, and the governor's announcement. Those three programs cost $27,000 for the receptions and that kind of thing to do it, whatever they were doing. I told them in Raleigh, I said, for gosh sakes, I wish that you cared more about children than you did about caterers. And I said, I want to know how much of that Smart Start money is going to children and families and not to administrative costs. And I hope I'll be getting those figures next week.
Representative Carolyn Russell. Goldsboro police say the car of a man last seen on Monday has been found. The 22-year-old Robert Steve Boyette Jr. is still missing. The car he was last seen driving was found in Berkeley Mall, and both front fenders were damaged. The police say there was no sign of forced entry or foul play. Robert Boyette told police his son departed for work Monday morning and called home that evening to inform his parents he was on his way home, but he never showed up. The missing man is employed by Jackson Builders. The Old Waynesboro Society will hold a membership drive and use the proceeds towards the cost of moving and restoring the Bass Hatch House on a site in Waynesboro State Park. The structure is considered to be one of the best examples